And I want to address how Ramadan and the nafs compete against one another. The nafs is yourself. The nafs contains egos and desires, temptations. The nafs is selfish. And Allah created this nafs. Listen to what Allah tells us in Surah Al-Shams about the nafs. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها. ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها. قد أفلح من زكاها. قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها. Which means, and the nafs, and the way in which Allah has fashioned it. He gave it the ability to do crimes. He gave it the ability to be corrupt. And He gave it the ability to be God conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He who purifies this nafs and elevates it has truly succeeded. And he who obeys it has truly lost. We all talk about success. We don't want to be losers. The greatest success, as Allah defines it, is when a person is able to elevate their nafs and grow and develop yourself to a different being. In character, in value, in worth. Not in the eyes of people, but in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you worth, then everyone else will give you worth. Not just anyone. Those who do have worth will give you worth as well. And if Allah loves you, those whom Allah loves will also love you. But a loser is one who obeys their whims and desires. As the wife of Al-Aziz at the time of Yusuf alayhi salam, she said, وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ إِلَّا مَا رَحِمَ رَبِّي. I cannot say that I am innocent. My nafs is not innocent. The nafs surely always commands us to do the wrong things, except whom Allah has given mercy. This nafs, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, I need to address it just a little bit before I go into my topic and address practical issues that happen in our community and society, especially among the youth, because I'm talking to you, the youth. The nafs, the self-ego of the human being, is a natural temptress. I say temptress because in Arabic, it's addressed in the feminine term. The nafs is a temptress. And Allah has designed it as a test and a challenge for us all. And it has no limits. The nafs has no limits, brothers and sisters, in how wild it can become. You see, the human being naturally loves his own desires. Look at a child as it grows up. When it's first born and in the arms of its mother, what does it do? It thinks about one thing. It wants to feed itself. And it'll cry and kick, baby, because it wants to feed itself. And as the baby grows up, you find this individual starting to want more things for itself. The little boy and girl begin to fight for their dummy, for their bottle. As my little daughter says all the time, I want my anini. First of all, she says it quiet. She waits 5 seconds. Then her voice starts going high. 2 years old. In a matter of about 30 seconds, she's screaming. And that's it, I submit. It's natural that we want things for ourselves. As we get more aware, we begin to fight other children for what we want. Lollies. Starts with lollies. chocolate. We want to be on our mum and dad's lap. We want to eat first if the food is nice. And if it's not nice, we'll give it to our little brother. I want the best. And as you grow older and older, although the desires become different, you still desire. You no longer want the little toy anymore. You don't want the little racing car that moves with a remote control. You want the real thing now. You no longer want a baby doll. You want to look like it. So, these egos and desires, and the scholars say that you begin to change, transform as you get older. Now, I'm not 40 years old yet, but I heard that you go through different stages. That by the time you get to 40, you want status. But before that, you want a bit of attention, followed by money. At 40, you want status, and so on. And the older you get, the more the person desires to live longer, as though they can still acquire more and more and more. But a believer doesn't, because they know the tricks of the nafs. Did you know that the human being, if they obey the nafs, they can become so evil that evil will be defined by their actions. They'll make history books, and people will define evil by your actions. How do we know evil? Allah did not show us evil, He showed us good. Isn't that right? He showed us good, He showed us respect, He showed us kindness, right from the time of Adam alayhi salam and the angels. It was Iblis who first showed us evil. And then those who followed him began to show more evil. I think it was Imam Hassan al-Basri, rahmatullah alayhi, I think it was him, if I'm not mistaken, one of the great imams. He said that I had a dream, and I saw Iblis, or the shaitan, and I asked him, how successful are you today with the humans in your plan to lead them astray and call them to hellfire? He said, well, for the past decades of thousands of years, I've been able to lure them. But I've run out of ideas. Today, I'm learning from humans. They're giving me ideas. So I used to teach them, now they're teaching me. Truly, you heard that the Prophet ﷺ does explain to us that there are human shaitans and there are jinn shaitans. The human shaitan is worse because no words of dhikr can make them run away. So be aware. The nafs can become so evil that it will murder, pillage, rape, kill, everything. And it contains all the necessary elements: jealousy, proudness, haughtiness, greed, sexual desires, love of self, arrogance, envy. All of these are the tools to really get your nafs going. And if you drive your nafs, you'll be successful. But if it drives you, you've lost.